Welcome, my name is Audrey Ginger. I use she, her pronouns. And we are here today for chair yoga for strength. So it'll be some sun salutations and then we'll build off of that. Yeah, let's get started. We're going to start in our seat. And with the toes pointing forward, the knees right over the ankles, and starting in Tadasana mountain pose. So in our chair, just kind of replicating the standing version here, our palms are facing out, thumbs are pointed back, and the heart is lifted. So again, it might be nice to just kind of check in with where your body is in space, take a few breaths. Notice the length and strength of the arms as they come down, the shoulders are soft, and the belly button is slightly tucked so that you have that length in the lumbar spine. So from here, on your next inhale, we're gonna just come halfway. So inhale, coming to halfway to a sort of T position. And this is really nice just to check in with our form. So the thumbs are still pulling back, the pinkies are reaching up like you're serving a platter here. And then from here, experiment with rotating the thumbs back, and then forward, down, and back. So we're just kind of moving around the shoulders, noticing how our hand position really affects the rest of the arm. So we'll return into that T with the palms facing up, the thumbs reaching back here, really opening up through the heart. On our next inhale, arms reach up over your head. So if the neck feels comfortable, maybe looking up, palms can touch, palms can be away, but the shoulders are released and the fingertips are active here. So take another inhale, find length, maybe open up the chest slightly. Exhale, our arms are gonna come into goalpost arms and we're gonna hinge forward. So here, really sending the heart beyond the kneecaps here. Elbows are gonna bend and then we're reaching our forearms, our elbows, and the tops of our hands up. So here, still sitting very much in our chair, maybe pushing into your feet slightly, still keeping the heart lifted, hovering over your legs, so we shouldn't be kind of getting heavy over our thighs here. Really maintaining it through the muscles in our spine, around our spine. Take another inhale. And then in our exhale, make sure you have some space here. Maybe you widen your stance a little bit wider than hip distance, but we're gonna fold forward. So here, letting the upper body get truly heavy, letting the head come down. So here, really important to make sure the neck isn't straining to look up or to the side, but you're fully inverted at this point. The knees can kind of hang away from you, or you can practice hugging them in towards the body. So going through our sun salutations here, folding. And as we come into this inversion, explore finding some movement in your neck, some yes, no's, or some circles, just without that added pressure of gravity. Working in a different way. Stay here for one more breath. On your next inhale, we're going to come back to our half lift. So hands are going to come to the thighs to start. And if the knees kind of opened up, we're going to bring them back to our hip distance. And then we're going to come into a round before we make our way back into seated. So our hands are going to come underneath our thighs. And if you can get a grip fully, that might feel really nice to kind of grab onto your hands. But holding on just underneath your thighs is great. So from here, we're going to come into a rounded cat spine. So pull the belly button in, send your forehead towards your knees, and just feel this real opening between the shoulder blades here. We'll just hold this for one more breath, just stretching out that back side. And then from here, releasing the hands to your legs. Maintain that nice length. So since we were just rounding, let's send the heart forward again. And then on our next inhale, arms reach up over your head. And then exhale, hands come down to your sides. And we'll go through this one more time. So again, starting palms facing forward, nice length through the spine, check in, take a breath. And then on our next inhale, coming all the way up, arms reach up, maybe looking up. On our next inhale, maybe open up the chest, slight back bend if you'd like. Exhale, we're gonna come for our half lift. So adding on to this, elbows can stay bent in goalpost or cactus arms, or you can experiment with shifting your weight forward. So maybe bringing one arm forward like you're trying to shake somebody's hand, maybe both arms come forward, or you're just kind of switching. So the arms coming forward is just going to put a little bit more just pressure on supporting your back. So it might be nice to execute using your feet, pushing into your feet, using those larger leg muscles to support the spine here. Stay here for one more breath, really, really extending through the heart, through the low back, and then exhale, folding. Take a few breaths here. And again, you can make space for the torso or maybe just kind of curling into a turtle shell shape. Really allow your exhale to be slightly deeper here, just engaging those benefits of the parasympathetic nervous system. On our next inhale, we're going to come all the way up. So really push into the four corners of your feet here. On our inhale, lifting up, heart lifts up, arms lift up. Maybe palms touch. And then exhale, hands come down to your sides. Nice, and just shake it out. So from here, we're going to come into a wider stance. So if you find yourself in a chair that has something on the side or you're in a wheelchair, then just whatever wide stance you can create is good. I'm going to go a little bit wider in my body. So here, with the toes pointing in the same direction as your knees are open, we're going to come into extended side angle pose just in our chair. So we're going to start on our left side. So bring your left forearm to your left thigh. From here, you're going to send your left rib cage up and forward so that you feel this nice alignment through the rib cage. The rib cage is stacking. And then from here, this might be your pose. So maybe your hands at your hip, and you're just opening your heart to the sky. If you want, you can reach this right arm up in your inhale, and then exhale, reach it, extend to the left side. So here in extended side angle, we're really thinking about supporting the spine and feeling this nice length through our right side. So breathing into the space between the rib cage here. You can experiment bringing awareness to the sensations of the left rib cage. So maybe opening up, even though we are kind of collapsing on it. Try to maintain a little bit of openness through that side. One more breath here. And with the palm facing down, from here we can reach it facing the sky. Inhale, coming back. Exhale, returning to center. So we'll practice this on the other side, and then we'll go through the sequence one more time. So on our right side now, bring our right forearm down. So again, not too much pressure on the thigh here, just kind of a slight weight. And then your left hand can come to your hip, and then you're just opening up the heart. So as you lean over your right thigh, you're also opening up. Always with that tension or that nice balance between lifting and also grounding. So at this point, maybe it feels right to bring your left hand up and over, reaching towards the right side of the room. It's a good time to remember to keep your hips really stable in your chair, especially that left hip. Breathing through the rib cage here. Pulling this lower rib cage through. One more breath here. And then from here on, your next breath slowly coming out of the pose. So we'll practice this one more time, and we can return to the same pose or maybe just add a little bit more strength here. So with our left arm, we're going to bring it down. And again, now our right arm is coming up, reaching over. And at this point, this is a great place to be, or you can practice extending your left arm forward with the palm facing up. So this is just going to reorient your weight and where your sort of muscles are being used. So if your arm is lifted, you might notice you have to pull in through the core a little bit more, support through the left and right side body. Staying here, breathing, noticing the sensation. Take one more breath here. And then on your next breath, slowly bringing this arm back, this top arm down, and coming out of that side. So same thing, other side. So now with our right forearm coming down, our left arm lifts up in our inhale, exhale, reach it up and over. Again, a really great place to be. If you want to add on, then you can extend that bottom arm forward, your right arm. So with the palm facing up, really extending forward, this is going to naturally orient your spine to be a little more aligned here as you reach this top arm in the opposite direction. Continue breathing, pull in through the core, but make sure you still have room to breathe. Take one more breath. And then on your next breath, hand can return to the thigh, and your top arm can come down and coming out of the pose. So from here, let's come into a warrior two that is in our chair. So instead of just a wide position, we're just going to orient our left knee to the left side, and so that we're kind of at a 90-degree angle. So you can stay here if you want the sort of traditional lunge position. You can take this front knee and bring it down. You might just have to reorient where your glutes are on the chair and things like that so you feel comfortable. So this is a great place to be, but I'm going to choose here just for now. So here we're going to come into warrior two. So whatever your knee is doing in the front, we're going to extend our arms to the side and just create this nice warrior two shape with our body. So arms are reaching out to the side. You're going to look over to the left fingertips rather. And then from here, really look towards your middle finger, find that drifts to your focal point. Extend through both arms, feel lifted both vertically and horizontally here through your arms. Stay here for 2 breaths. And then on your next inhale, arms reach up over your head. Exhale, hands come down to heart center, and we transition out of your Virabhadrasana. So same thing, other side. So now going to the right side. So knee can stay out in this 90-degree angle, or maybe you come into the traditional sort of lunge position. So whatever you're choosing, the arms are going to extend out again. So now looking over our right knee to our right fingertips here, length, openness. So our chest is still open to the front of the room, whereas our arms are extended out to the side and our knees are pointed in opposite direction or in different directions. Stay here for a few breaths. Notice if the shoulders are holding tension in this pose, relax. Notice how that might shift sensation. On our next inhale, arms reach up over your head. And then exhale, slowly coming out of the pose. All right, so from here, let's come into some hamstring stretches. So you could use a prop, you don't have to. So I love the prop of the tie, just because we can probably find one in our home. But if you have a traditional yoga strap, use that. Or maybe just a rag, or maybe just opt out. So we're gonna start with our left side, extending your right leg out. So this might require shifting slightly in your chair so that you don't feel like the chair is kind of digging into the back of your thigh. So with the left leg out, you're gonna take your strap, if you have it, bring it to the ball of your left foot. And this is going to help remind those toes to stay towards the face. So that's gonna really engage the hamstring. So from here, and just make sure it's on the ball of that foot, not on the arch, especially if you're not wearing shoes. So on your inhale, find length, open up the heart, send the chest up slightly. And then in your exhale, you're gonna slowly shift forward, hinging at the hips here. So really trying to maintain the length of the spine as opposed to reaching your forehead to your knee. So this right knee is nicely bent right over the ankle. And then you're really just feeling that pinky toe side reaching towards the face, heel kind of slightly digging into the floor here. And you can give a little bit of a tug on your thigh if you're feeling like that might help engage the foot or the arch. We're going to stay here for 2 more breaths. And then on your next inhale, we're going to reach our leg up. So as our shoulders align with our hips, we're reaching this leg up. So it might be nice to kind of challenge your quad muscles, your hip flexors, just to see how much weight we're kind of pulling into our arm to lift this leg. See if you can relax on the tie or the strap and use the large muscles here as you flex the toes towards your face. So we're going to stay here for another breath, just feeling the strength here. And then grabbing with our opposite hand, so you're going to take your right hand to the strap. And then from here, this left hand that's now released is going to reach back behind you. So if this twist is too much, then maybe just sending it to a sort of half T position is a really nice option. But if possible, twisting all the way, maybe even sending your eyes, your gaze toward that back arm here. Toes are still reaching towards the face. Take 1 more breath here. And then on your inhale, bringing it back and lowering. So an option if you don't have a tie, a strap, and extending is not good, then you can always grab a bent knee and do the same pose like so. So we're going to practice on the other side. So now extending your right leg, grabbing your tie or strap. On your inhale, opening up the heart, and then exhale again, folding forward. So thinking about the heart reaching to the toes rather than forehead to your knee. So stay here. Just notice where your head is in space. Try to keep your neck in line with the rest of the spine, so maybe looking down towards your thighs or your knees. Really bringing that pinky toe up towards the face, heel reaching into the ground. Stay here for a few more breaths. Notice the sensations perhaps in the backside of the leg, maybe in the lower back, it could be anywhere. On your next inhale, we'll transition. So inhale, bringing the heart up. Once the heart's lifted, you're going to lift your right leg. So staying here, again, experimenting with how much weight you're using your arms to support this leg. See if you can engage that quad muscle to lift up, sending the toes up towards the face. If we're leaning back, try to keep your shoulders in line with your hips. But again, it's your own practice, and as long as we aren't in pain, then we're probably doing a good job. So from here, we're going to grab with our left hand. So grabbing with our opposite hand, this right arm is going to pull back behind us. So in a spinal twist here. So if the neck feels okay, maybe looking back towards the back arm, keeping the leg long. On your inhale, find length, and then exhale, twisting a little bit deeper. Take one more breath. On your inhale, bring it back to center, and then exhale, releasing the foot and letting this tie kind of hang out. And just maybe wiggling the knees side to side, or maybe picking up just to kind of get rid of any tension after holding those poses for a few breaths. So that is our yoga for strength. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you like this video. If you could like the button, that would be great, or maybe send it to someone that could use some chair yoga. So I'll see you next time.